For party drug?
Yep.
Must have been how many people you killed you went to jail for, not the drugs.
No,
they
it's the
caught
drugs.
up with you.
No, I
Who
did.
you kill?
No, I didn't kill. I was involved in 19 murders.
You can shake all the hands in the world now.
Yeah.
People break that bond. You know that.
Party
Sammy.
drug.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I was just looking at the commercials with you, and look good. Hey, a whole bunch of stuff to talk about today. Let me start off with the first thing. Our camera, special camera, broke today, and we're going old-fashioned. I'm in a, what is this, like a Zoom call?
Something like that.
Something like that. It's like a Zoom call. So I hope the sound is good and the view is good. And we're going to talk about a bunch of things. I'm not sure if you saw this weekend, FX put out in Hollywood, all Hollywood put out that my scripted show is bought by FX, and we're in production. We're not in production, we're in pre-production right now. And you guys are going to love it. We're working on a whole bunch of things. When we go into production, the actors, the actresses, who's doing sound, music, clothing, the coffee boy or girl, everybody, hiring them. That's the next phase, and then it comes out. It'll be out down the road a little bit. And I wanted to say that our Patreon channel is starting to do good. I'm going to redo the whole thing again. I have a different idea for it. And a lot of the actors and actresses and people like that and producers are going to come on the show. So we'll be doing interviews with them on our Patreon channel. I think you're going to love that. I'm going to love it, for sure. So I'm going to keep you. We didn't do it yet, so you don't have to jump on there right now. But eventually I'm going to change the whole price thing. There's 3 prices. I'm going to make it one. And I'm going to make it affordable for everybody to come in, not one price, and somebody who's got money pays another price. I'm going to make it all one price, everybody who comes in. And I'm going to work it all out, do all the statistics and everything, and put it out to everybody so you know exactly what you're jumping into. Probably can't get out that easy. I'm only kidding. You can get out easy. It'll be a button. I'm out. Press the button, you're out. So that's going to be on my Patreon channel coming up real soon. We're working on it real feverishly, and I think you're going to love that. And I'm all excited now. I didn't know when they were going to announce it, and I was waiting. I was in a car, and I just saw something come up, and she says, "Oh my God, look, they put it out." FX put out this thing in Hollywood. So if you go to Variety magazine and all these other, what's the other one?
Deadline
and Yahoo. What is
like
it?
the chocolate milk.
Yahoo?
No, Yahoo.
Oh,
Close enough.
Yahoo. Everybody's doing articles about it. The team has grown in a much better way. I think FX is going to do a great job. They put some great talent to work with us. And it's going to be it's going to be my life story, and everything from soup to nuts. And they're so thorough, the team I have around me, they're checking with the FBI, the DEA, the New York State Organized Crime Department, lawyers, people who knew me are getting calls, and they're getting information. Ex-girlfriends.
I knew you were going to say.
My ex-girlfriends. I'm panic-stricken.
More than the FBI.
More than the FBI. It's worse. But they're doing everything. They want to make a true movie of my life. Something similar to The Sopranos, but a true story. It's going to be very factual. Maybe times I'm going to be twinging in my seat, but it is what it is. I rather it that way, to tell you the truth. So I'm really proud that that's what they're going to do. I'm all for it. Speaking with my ex-wife, they're speaking with my daughter, my son, the cousins, uncles, aunts, people I haven't talked to in months and years. And they're really doing a great job. I'm really proud of them, the team I have. Nick Pileggi and Terry Winter and J.J. Sachs and Antoine. What's his last name? How do you say it? Fuqua. He's going to be the director. Really talented guy. He's done all of the movies with
Training Day, Equalizer.
Training Day, Equalizer.
Emancipation.
He's worked with Denzel Washington. Will Smith and all of those in their movies. He's a great director, and he's going to be the director on it. So I'm looking forward to all of that, and I'm going to share that. All of that stuff will probably be on my Patreon. Behind the scenes stuff as we work, it'll be there. And I think everybody, I know I'm going to love it. I think everybody will love it. And so we're looking forward to that. So now we'll go on to forget that Patreon and let's go to this show. And I love you guys, and I'll still be on. I'll still have a live. I may even have lives on the Patreon with you guys if you want to jump in, so that when I have an actor or an actress on board doing an interview live, you could ask them questions. We have so many great ideas, but let me get off that. So let's go on today. Is there any old questions or anything like that? There is? And it's shaking her head, yes?
Yeah.
Amina's shaking her head, yes.
Okay, so I have a couple of questions from last week. Mark wanted to know, Sammy, would you accept a seat as a boss?
If, let's say, John Gotti was the boss and he was killed or died of natural causes, as the underboss, I automatically get that seat. I'm automatically the boss, so of course I would accept it. But you still need a vote. So down the road, a couple of months down the road, I would grab all the captains. We got done with the funeral. This is, XYZ problems are gone. Now you guys are going to vote. Does anybody want the seat? Now, somebody could say, I want, the seat myself, another guy or two guys, and then it becomes a vote by the captains, which makes it official. Now, it happens in a month or two or three, so usually they'll pick who, like I wound up in there, I was the underboss, I'm the boss, they'd probably all vote for me. And to all honesty, they would be afraid. If I don't vote for him, I'm going to have a problem. So you're going to get the vote. So more than likely, I would be the boss. And I know that as being the underboss, that's what it is. Somebody's the vice president. The president dies, the vice president takes over immediately. Same thing. So I would be the boss. I think I can control a family and run a family without a problem. Because I can't take it from a maid guy or a captain being a boss. I just don't know enough. But from an underboss position, I was the conseiller. I was a captain, the conseiller, the underboss. I think I would be able to run a family pretty easily. And I would take it, of course.
Okay. Follow up to that question from Dave in Pittsburgh. He says, ask the boss if he would want to be in the mafia today and if he thinks it will ever be powerful again.
Change goes on in everybody's life and everybody's time. No, I wouldn't want to be the boss today. I'm very happy at what I'm doing right now. I changed my life. I became a born-again Christian. I'm working on a program now that helps children across our country. And I didn't open it yet, but I'm invested in it. I'm talking to people, and I'm working on that. I like what I'm doing now. I love you guys, talking to you guys, TikTok guys. I'm having fun. I don't have to look over my shoulder. I don't have to worry about going to prison. I did my share in prison. I'm done with it. And the mafia today is so much different than it was years ago. It's a totally different game. So I'm really not interested in being the boss today or going back into it in any way, shape, or form. So honestly, I'm done. I've been there, done that. It's like a bad marriage. Been there, done that, I'm not going back. So And it wasn't that bad for me. I mean, it was bad, it was horrible in a way, but I still have a lot of respect for what it was, what it is today. I have respect for them. They don't kill, they don't do a lot of things. God bless them. And if they're in that, I don't know why, but they're making money in little bullshit things. I'm not interested.
Okay, and the last question I have is from Sam C. Do you get to pick Jimmy Moran's hobbies or what he does, or do the feds give you everything to study and tell people what you did as that character, as that new person, that identity that you take?
No, they change your name and your identity, my habits and things like that, what sports I like, or they don't tell me what to do. They don't tell you, if I like to box, I would box. I mean, certain things they would tell you to stay away from. You got to stay away from old friends and family because they know who you really are. They try to introduce you to life as Jimmy Moran, and nobody knows. It's all bullshit, really. I didn't like it. I gave them 1 year. I didn't want to be in the program. They called me up. They said, Sammy, you were involved in 19 murders. The government gave you a great deal, 5 years. They lived up to everything. Give them some time in the program. Don't, because they'll look like shit if you don't do it. And I said, okay, I'll give you 1 year. And I did that. I actually didn't give them a year. I gave them 8 months. I left the name Jimmy Moran. When I left the program after the 8 months, I changed my name back to Salvatore Gravano. I was born and raised to be Salvatore Gravano. It's my father's name. I didn't want to die with a different name. And I don't hide, so what's the sense of it? So I did them a favor. I went in for the 8 months. I didn't finish because some woman knew who I was and they wanted me to start all over. I said, I gave you 8 months. I'll give you the other 4 that I told you for a year. They said, no, we got to move you and change your name again and start all over. I said, I'm not doing it. I quit. And I left and I came to Arizona where my family was, and I changed my name back to Salvatore Gravano. And when they said, what about Jimmy Moran? I said, he died. He passed away. And I left the name. They could do what they want with it. Give it to somebody else. So.
Okay. So that's it for the questions from last week. I'm going to turn it over to Anna, but I want to remind everybody, please get your orders in by the 19th if you guys want your shipments in before Christmas. You guys are definitely keeping me busy. Thank you. And the team thanks you. All right, over to Anna.
Sammy, Mark in the Super Chat wants to know, with today's technology, could the Castellano hit be done?
Yes. I mean, of course there would have been 1,000 cameras and pictures. You have to, when you're a hit guy, you think about these things and you use certain things in your favor. Now, 1,000 people taking pictures, they're going to wind up taking pictures of each other. It happens so fast, they'll probably be so scared, they're just clicking away. You won't know who did what. So in a way, it would be a good thing. The confusion is always on your side. So I guess it could be done. We would wear a little bit more disguise. There's masks and things that they wear now. It's like a skin. You could pull it on. You look like a totally different person. It looks like it's a joke. So you would have probably got that, put that on. I would have put it on. I would have looked like Elvis Presley. So they would have said, Elvis Presley killed him. Yeah, all right. Uh-huh. So there's a lot of things that, you plan around what's going on. And so it probably could have been done because it was the same thing. We know what time he was going to be there, where he was going to park, what the restaurant was. We knew all the details. So nothing would have changed other than maybe our disguise would have been a little bit better. And now they make disguises, like I said, they got rubber masks. You could pull them over and look like a whole different person. So we would have used that with a hat and glasses.
Yeah.
So Beverly Terry is in the chat. She was the one that sent you the picture of her dog Blue watching
Oh,
you all
yes,
the time.
yes.
She said, Sammy, if you ever need a gangster dog for your show or movie, Blue is available.
All right, but I got Lily here, and Lily don't like other animals for some reason, but there would be a war going on. And she loves this show. She loves the girls. She loves everything. She loves me. I love her. So thank you for the thing, but it would be a boxing match between the two. What is he? What is he, a female or a male?
Blues male.
A male. Well, you never know. Maybe they would hook up. I don't know.
Constantine in the super chat has a follow-up on that that Castellano question. Thoughts on the United Healthcare CEO assassination? I couldn't help but notice similarities to the Castellano hit, Midtown and getaway during rush hour.
Yeah, well, as you know, I'm a hit guy, and that would have never happened like that. I don't think this guy is a hit guy. I think he's a disgruntled employee, or he's somebody who got screwed by this guy. He wrote little messages on the bullet. I think they saw his face, wore a ski mask. I don't listen. This guy, I wouldn't. If it was me, I would have never killed him like that in front of those people over there. Why? You know where he works. You know what he drives. You know his wife. You know his house. You know everything about him. Why do it over there where you could either hurt other people or people like Amina brought out that there's cameras and shit all over the place. He's so easy to hit. I mean, somewhere else in a quiet place. I think that's just not professional. If I would have hit him, I would have hit him near his home or where his girlfriend lives or somewhere where he's going all the time. All I got to do is follow him for a week. I know everything about him. And I know exactly where to hit him. At 9 o'clock at night, he's going home from his girlfriend's house or a bar with his friends or wherever he is. Boom, he gets hit. No people around, no problems, no hits, no errors. That's a professional hit. This guy just put his hands in his life in his hands and just went and did that. I don't know. I don't think it was professional. You watch. When it comes out, it's a disgruntled employee or somebody who got screwed by him some way, how, and it's not a professional guy at all.
Sean Pierpoint, Sammy, did you know Tony Ducks or Fat Tony personally?
I knew both of them personally. I went to many sit-downs with them. One was the Concrete Club. I was handling for Paul Castellano. I sat with them in meetings with them. Both great guys. Really, really nice guys, good guys.
SC says, as long as Travolta doesn't play Gotti again, I'm in.
Well, Travolta's not going to play in my movie. I mean, I thought the movie was terrible. I agree with you that not Travolta, but I keep making jokes on who's going to play me about, certain people I don't want. Now, if it came down to Danny DeVito, which I told him, this guy's not playing me, or Travolta, I think I would take Danny DeVito, I'll tell you the truth. Travolta was horrible.
All right. Constantine is asking about your thoughts on the passing of Jojo Carrazzo.
Jojo Carrazzo was a good guy. His brother Nicky, I knew them very, very well. There's another brother too who's a lawyer. Nicky Carrazzo and Jojo. Jojo wasn't a tough guy. He was a main guy. Nicky was a tough guy. He was a captain. And he never got along with John Gotti. Even as kids, from what I understand, they never got along. And even in the mob, they didn't get along at all. But Nicky was a tough guy. I don't know if Nicky's alive or dead. I heard about his passing. Wasn't a bad guy. He was a made guy. And like I said, there's another brother who's a lawyer. I don't remember his name. Hey, we're getting up in age. That's what happens. Somebody sent me a picture of myself, Keith, Monty, and my old friend Tommy the Snake. He was just with the Rampants, and he just passed away too. So I think my day will come. But when you get up in age, when you get my age, You're hearing about that all the time. Guys are passing away like flies. Women that I know, all kinds of things. And, that's what happens when you get old.
Don wants to know, will you be in the background in any of your movies or shows?
A cameo shot? I thought about that. I really did. I wanted like a bunch of mobsters, something just happened and they're calling the cab. I'm driving the cab like a schmuck. I might do something crazy like that. I don't call the shots. This is a real heavy team that we put together with FX. FX has put the hottest, best people on this project. I'm glad it's them. I'm working partners with Aaron Kaplan, and it's Kaplan Industries. That's part of it. He's a brilliant guy. He's put this together. I put together the team with him, which was Nick Pileggi, JJ Sachs, Terry Winter, Anton, and all of these guys. We thought we had the best of the best, and we do. FX just put together a team of real heavyweights. I don't know if I should mention their names. A woman named Gina. I don't remember her last name. She's a monster. She's a beast. When I say a beast, I say that in a positive way. Very, very talented, creative, smart. She used to work for HBO for a while, and she was involved in, what's that?
Developing Game of Thrones.
Developing Game of Thrones and movies like that. She's a beast. And she's coming in with a team, so we have 3 teams. That team in FX, which is a monster team. My team, which is Terry Winters and all of them. And Aaron Kaplan is a studio, his team. We have 3 teams, and we'll all be working together as one. And we all think that we're going to make the greatest project that was ever put out. Similar to The Sopranos, but a real story. Like I said, they're doing all kinds of research. They want to get it as truthful as possible. And they'll always put in some Hollywood. But I think this is going to be, I'm excited. I'm super excited.
Betty Ann with a very generous envelope for you, Sammy. If you need someone with swagger in spades for your series, you know where to find me. XXX.
All right. Hi, Betty Ann.
All right. SC in the super chat. Haha, no doubt, bro. That guy from the 92 Gotti movie that played you is also definitely a no-go.
Okay. Yeah, listen, with this, it gets out in Hollywood first. Now, all of Hollywood knows that this is coming out now. And they'll know it in the very near future. Now, this team is so powerful, they're going to get the best of the best as far as actors, actresses, everything. The writers they have already, Nick Pileggi and Terry Winter, you can't get better writers than them. They're the biggest and the best in the business. And they've done gangster movies on top of gangster movies. And the best part of it is, this is a different kind of gangster movie they're going to make. There's going to be so many twists and turns. It's about businesses that I was in, my marriage, relationships, cheating, every fucking thing is in this project. I mean, it's not going to just be a normal, everyday gangster movie. It's got a lot of different curves in it.
Absolutely. Let me just jump into another super chat from Steve Jackson.
Wait, before Steve Jackson, Steve, excuse me 1 minute, bro. I wanted to add that my girl here, Anna, she's a producer on the show as well. So Anna is a producer on the show. My friend Billy Malone is a producer on the show. Now he's with Aaron Kaplan, and Anna's with me. And he goes back 40-something years with me. And he's been in Hollywood. He's a producer. He's an actor. His wife is a showrunner. And he's in my show too. He's a producer as well with us. So I wanted to add those names in there.
Thank you, Sammy. It's like I said, it's an honor and a blessing to be along this journey with you. It's more than I could have ever prayed for.
You worked hard for it.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Steve Jackson, sorry. Sammy, you've described Tommy Bilotti as a bully. What made him seem that way, and was that the reputation in your family and other families?
It was in every family. Tommy was a monster. Him and his brother, Joey Bellotti, with their hands, they were really, really tough. They had discos and clubs. I mean, they didn't own it and run it. They broke your ass if you were in a club and you had a beef with them. And, and they used that, it's one thing to be, tough with your hands and everything like that, but they were abusive. I'll give you one story. We went to a wedding, me and Sammy was my right-hand man. We went into a wedding. It was somebody's wedding with our wives. And he came up behind me. I was sitting with my wife. Sammy was sitting with his wife. And he put his hands around my neck and was choking me a little bit. Laughing, like goofing, but you're choking me. And I was choking a little bit. I grabbed his hand, pulled it a little bit. And then he laughed. I'm only playing. You're fucking playing. And what are you? So anyway, Sammy says, Sammy, let's go to the bathroom, the men's room. I said, all right. And Sammy was ripping mad. I said, that's the way he is. He's like a bully. He wants to bully, show girls and women how tough he is. And, he says, I got a gun in the fucking car. Let's take him out. Sammy, are you crazy, bro? We're at a wedding. May guy's wedding, and we can't do that, bro. And he's a captain. We can't do that. He'll have his day. Take my word for it. He'll have his day. With the way he acts and conducts himself, he'll have his day. We'll have our day. Sure enough, he got killed. But he walked around like that. He was a captain. He was very close to the boss, and he used that power to bully people and do things. He made bets on football games, and when he lost, he didn't pay sometimes. There would be arguments. He tried to bully everybody. So that was his reputation, basically. He was built like a fucking... we were walking one time, and he stopped walking. I didn't realize it. I bunked right into him. I bounced off of him. And I was pretty thick when I was young. And he was like a Johnny Pump. You couldn't, tough, strong, bully type of guy. I guess when he went to school, he might have been a bully too, all his life. His brother Joey was extremely fucking tough, tougher than him. But Joey wasn't a bully. So what made him a bully, I really don't know. But I give you that example. Sammy was ready to kill him. If I was crazy like Roy DeMayo, I would have said, okay, let's talk to him outside. Let's blow his fucking brains out. But first of all, I didn't think it was a big deal. My wife was shooken up. Are you going to be okay? Because he really choked me. He actually choked me. He was that strong and whatever. And I was strong back then. But that was his personality.
What's a Johnny Pump?
A Johnny Pump is where they put the water. When there's a fire, the Johnny Pump, they plug the
Fire
hose.
hydrant.
Fire hydrant.
Oh,
they call
I've
it a
never
Johnny
heard
Pump.
that.
You never heard that?
No.
Fucking Mexicans. You never heard that?
Órale, vato.
They never heard that. They don't have Johnny
No
Pumps in
sé.
Mexico. That's
They're called Juani Pumps. I'm just kidding. Marshall G with a very generous envelope for you, Sammy. Just a small Merry Christmas envelope. Can I apply for the Kansas City capo spot? Ha ha. Merry Christmas to all.
Thank you, Thank you, bro. You got. I'm already getting calls. Who wants to be in the movie? Who wants to do this? Who wants to do that? But that's not. They're going to do castings and all that shit. There was a lot of guys from New York that already asked. When they put it out, you guys are actors. You know what they cast for people who are going to play certain parts, and you got to go there.
Matthew Wells, do you think Funzy Thierry had Tony Bananas set up to be killed?
Yes. Funzy Terry was a very dangerous guy. They called him a boss, a street boss. And he did a lot of things. He was behind that whole hit in Philadelphia, but that's a whole nother story with the Johnny Keys thing. But he was behind that whole fucking thing. It's the original hit on The Boss. And he had Tony Bananas and his brother-in-law, Joe Salerno. They had somebody do it. And then they killed them, both of them. They were double banger type of guys. Very dangerous guy, Terry.
Paul Caputo, Sammy, were there ever made guys in the Gambino family that you never knew or met? With 200 to 300 made guys, how did you know them all?
Listen, every single wedding, funeral, event, meetings that we've had, a lot of the ceremonies, I was at the ceremonies, you get to meet them all. So I knew all of them. You get to know every single one. You go to a wedding, you might meet 50 guys who were there. You go to a funeral, you might meet 50 guys who were there. And it's not only in your own family, you're meeting guys in other families. So it's not, 200 to 300 guys, it's a couple of thousand guys you'll get to meet. And you don't forget when you meet, somebody takes you over, Sammy, this is Joe Blow, he's a friend of ours, or Amiga Nostra. You meet him, you both know each other as made guys. And you both could introduce different people. There's the introduction. A made guy has got to know both parties to put them together to meet each other. So a lot of times you're meeting guys in other families at funerals and weddings. That's the biggest place you're bumping into them. And then Christmas, every family has Christmas parties. So you go to each other's Christmas parties. You might be introduced to whoever you don't know in that family. Because they want to come over. They know you. Hey, that's Sammy. Do me a favor, introduce me to them. So everybody wants to know each other as that way.
Chris Rainbow is asking, did the Gambino family ever have ties in the UK?
I don't know if you're talking about, UK's, they have organized crime groups and stuff like that. I don't know of the groups. I know there's movies about them, some of them. I never met them. I know guys who were there, went with their families, came back. Same thing, guys in Italy. I know a lot of guys who were made in Italy and came to the United States, and we had to meet them. They belonged to Italy. They were made over there. When they came here, we respected them, but they weren't one of us. They didn't get their finger pricked. They didn't bleed on the saint with us. They're not the same as us. We know who they're from. We respect them, but they're not one of us. They don't live by our guidelines. They have different guidelines in Italy. They could be pimps. They could do drugs. They could do a lot of things that we can't do in the United States. So we had slightly different rules than they had. We're not supposed to use bombs. They could use bombs. So, not to say that these things didn't happen with us. Some guys were drug dealers and some guys used a bomb or two every once in a while. My best friend, Frankie DeChico, died with a bomb. So we break our own rules, a lot of us, at times.
Van City 604, what brand was your trademark black leather jacket, and do you still have it?
No, I don't even remember it. I tell you the truth, it's too far back. I don't remember what kind of brand it was, but I wore black leather jackets a lot of times, and I like that jacket. I saw a couple of pictures of myself in a black leather jacket. It was different times, and
we always call you the Funds, like, hey.
It was something, there was a place on 86th Street in Brooklyn, New York, 86th Street and Bay Parkway. I forgot the name, but all the mob guys bought their shit there. You got a place across the street, custom-made shirts. We all seemed to go to the same place. We all had the same type of clothes, a double-breasted suit, a shirt, and or jackets, leather jackets, stuff. And the guy made a fortune with us,
Billy B from ourthing.tv, what was your main money earners when you were in the Rampers?
Money earners as a Rampers, I really didn't have a main thing. I was young. I was just a crook. I go on armed robberies, burglaries, anything we could rob, cars, whatever. We didn't have the mentality of the mob, like rackets, and developing different schemes or rackets, controlling unions. The rampage, we weren't into that. We were too young. It was all, kids shit, stealing, robbing cars, stick-ups, stuff like that.
Mark is asking, why was Angelo Bruno taken out?
Greed. Straight up fucking betrayals and greed and power. The Genovese family wanted him dead. Angelo Bruno was against drugs. The Genovese weren't. So when they backed Tony Bananas and his brother-in-law, Tony Bananas was the consigliere, and he met with Funzi Terry, who was the Genovese captain. And he said, bro, if your boss ain't around, you can start doing drugs again with us. We can do it together. We can control the unions in the longshoremen's unions in New York and in Jersey, where you guys, Philadelphia, where you guys are. So they put all this greed together. It was about greed. Angelo Bruno was considered the docile Don. Very hard to get a contract out of him. He was liked by the neighborhood. He was liked by the people. He was fair with people. Greed, selfishness, and greed. It's almost like the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party does things on greed, straight up greed. The Republican Party, to me, was a pain in the ass. I wasn't a Republican because they wanted to do good things for the public, and they wanted to put crooks like me in jail. So I didn't like them. I was a Democrat because they were easy to bribe, easy to work with. You couldn't compare it like that. But there's a limit to everything. The Democrats wanted to rob everybody, don't care about the public. The Genovese was same shit like that. And Angelo Bruno wasn't that at all. It's actually a shame that he was killed. But it was backstabbing, greed that made it happen.
Dawn is asking if you ever met her cousin, Salvatore Cerami. It's her second cousin, and that she loves you and thinks you're very handsome and appreciates you.
Well, I agree with you about me being handsome, but I don't know if I met your cousin. I don't know if I met him. What's his name, Salami?
Yeah.
No,
Eddie Spaghetti. No, just kidding.
No, I don't think I know him. You know, a lot of guys I knew, you could tell me his real name and I wouldn't know him. Maybe I know him by a nickname or stuff like that. You know, this guy, Richie Shalackhead. Yeah, I forget his last name. And now somebody asked me if I knew him by his real name. And I said no. And it was Richie Shalackhead. But I don't know his real name. So a lot of times that happened. I don't know the guy's real name. I'll know him by his nickname, you know. So, here, Patty Crookedneck. I mean, it was easy to know who Patty Crookedneck was. Now, if you ask me his real name, I don't have a clue what his real name is.
Oh,
I don't think I ever do. I know when he's twisted up like this, that's Patty Crookedneck. Yeah, sure, I know.
J. Marie is saying, can I play the vato behind the counter at the deli, boss?
The bodega.
Yes. I don't know who's going to play what. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people because, you know, I had such a range of people that I knew. And so many, I mean, there's got to be 1,000 actors in this scripted show. I knew everybody who's anybody. So, and when they tell the story, there's going to probably be hundreds of actors and actresses in it.
Yeah. Ramel Smith with a envelope for you. No comment, no question.
Thank you.
They're asking if you ever went to Studio 54.
No. It was a weirdo place. It was a freak joint. I never went there. I went there once to meet with the bouncers. A friend of mine, he's a dentist, legitimate guy. I don't want to mention his name. His name is Johnny. He was a dentist. He grew up right on the same block as me, a couple of houses away. And we were friends, and then he went to college. He became a dentist, but we kept in touch. He actually helped me, worked on my son's teeth, did a surgery when he was a kid. And he went there, I guess, and they threw him out. They wouldn't even let him in. And when he asked, he's got a little bit of balls. He tried to, but they gave him a hard time and a little abusive. And he let me know. And I sent word down, and I didn't get an answer back from them. I went down with my guys, 2 guys. Not in the place, but I went there straight to the bouncers. And I told them who I was. They knew who I was. And I told them, listen, this guy was a friend of mine. You want to be a fucking tough guy? He's a dentist. He wanted to come in. You don't have to be a tough guy. Oh, Sammy, we didn't know. I'm sorry, and this and that and the other thing. This is who it was. They knew who the fuck it was. It was a pretty good argument. And they said, if he comes down, we'll tell him we'll let him in, this, that, and the other thing. And so that's the only time I went there to meet the bouncers. I didn't go in the place. I knew what it was inside. It was like this P. Diddy, his little stupid fucking parties. It was similar to that. Not as bad. They didn't rape people, but they were all nuts in that joint. So I didn't go in there. I'm a little freaky, but not that freaky. This was over my head. So I never went there, but I knew of it. It was very famous. Even some actors and actresses, they didn't let them in. Unless you look like a freak, you dress like a freak, that's the people they let in. Otherwise, they didn't let you in. So it was a weird joint.
All right, Z. Judy wants to know, did the Iceman pretty much lie about everything?
Yes. I mean, he killed a couple of people. He killed one guy and put him, he didn't even know how to get rid of the body. He put him in an ice box in his house. And then he was there for days or weeks. When he finally got an idea of where to put him, he took him out of the ice box and put him down. When the police found him, he was still frozen. It was in the summer, I guess. And they knew that when he finally got caught, that's why they called him the Iceman, because he put this guy in an ice box in his house. He was a fucking phony, a fake. He said that he killed Roy DeMeo. The FBI and everything ran right down to talk to him. He didn't have a clue. They turned around, they said, okay, Roy DeMeo was found in the trunk of a car, right? He said, yes. That's what I put him. Good. When he was in the trunk, something was on top of his body. What was it, and why did you put it on him? He didn't have a clue. So he knew it was in the newspaper. He didn't kill Roy DeMeo. We know who killed him. I know who killed him. It wasn't him. And the FBI knew he was lying through his teeth. I got pinched because of this fucking moron. And he said I did a murder with him. It was a cold case on a cop. It wasn't true. I wound up fighting the case. I beat the case. It was a total fake. He did some murders. He robbed somebody, I think, he took a loan for $1,500 or $1,700. I don't remember the number. Something like that. And the guy was asking to get paid back. He killed himself. He didn't have to pay him back. For $1,500, a guy lent you $1,500, you kill a guy? He was a fucking asshole. A complete asshole. I don't know what he was. He said he knew me. I never met him. I didn't know who the fuck he was until I got arrested. He was a witness against me. He's the guy who said I killed the cop with him. That's going to come out in my scripted show. You're going to be, this is an amazing, amazing story. Wait until this comes out in my scripted show. That's for sure it's coming out. For sure, everything I did is coming out, so I could tell you that much. Susie, don't worry about it. I'll keep my mouth shut. If you're still alive.
Oh my God. Betty Ann is saying, comparing Republicans to Democrats is like comparing the Boston Globe to the Boston Herald. If you know, you know.
All right, I agree with that. If you know, you know. I like that saying.
Stefan Bardo, do you have any stories about the New Jersey family?
I mean, I know the New Jersey family and the DeCavalcanti. If they're talking about the DeCavalcanti family, I knew them. I knew them well. I knew quite a few of them well. We did work together, or almost did work together. So yeah, I knew I knew the boss. Me and John met with the boss. So yeah, I knew them all. Not all, but I knew them. He had 2 sons. One was a captain, one was a maid guy. They weren't even fit for the life, but he made them, so.
The Boz is saying Kluklinski, Iceman, said that he knew Hoffa.
I know. He says a lot of things. I think he said he killed the Pope or some fucking bullshit. He did all these weird things. I don't think any of that is true.
Wow.
I know it's not true.
Sammy, we got about a little less than 10 minutes. You have a big interview coming out with your dear friend, Sheriff Joe. You sat down with him last Tuesday here.
Yes, I sat down with him. Listen, he gave me a tough time when I was in prison. I put that all behind me. And I don't like carrying grudges. He didn't carry a grudge. He was fairly good. He tried to goat me in the beginning of the conversation. Are you fucking around with drugs in, what did he call it?
Party drugs.
Party drugs in Arizona. You're a big shot. Why didn't you do heroin? He was trying to goat me into something. I didn't go for it. I said, because I didn't do heroin. I didn't do big drugs. And I didn't do this. I lent money. But I don't really give a fuck, and I don't have to answer to you. I did the time for it and everything. So we went on, the conversation wound up being good. I don't want to be abusive. He's 92. I don't disrespect people who are older than me. So I wasn't disrespectful. And I left off good. We shook hands. I think it went good. I answered his questions. I didn't try to bully him or anything like that. And I think it was a good. I mean, I did it with NBC News. One of the anchors, what's his name?
Troy Hayden.
Troy Hayden was there. He was in the middle of the 2 of us. And one part, I got to tell you, this part was funny. He came down with a bodyguard. The bodyguard tripped on the camera and fell down. So I started laughing. I don't know if it's in the interview, but I started laughing. I said, "Is that your bodyguard?" And I didn't even kill him. I didn't even if he's down on the floor. So it was funny.
That was great. The full interview will be out on Patreon and ourthing.tv soon. We don't want to release it yet. We have a lot going on. Sammy has a lot going on. So you guys will see all the behind the scenes video we took before, after, during. It's amazing.
Did we catch the guy falling on the floor?
We're gonna check footage. Sterling.
So yeah, it was a good video, and we actually made friends. And he has his life, I have mine. We did the video. It turned out great, and NBC is putting it out. They like it. This is the second thing I did with NBC. The first one, they came back to do this one. They asked me to do this one, which I did, and they're calling us now. They enjoyed it. They came in. We sat right here. It was set up a little different. There was a table with a couple of chairs, and it was set up just a little different than it is now. But right over here with the bull on top of me and stuff like that.
And he wouldn't drink the water?
Oh, yeah. Listen, Amina asked if he wanted anything. He said water. So Amina brought over a bottle of water and put it on the table. Then he couldn't open the top. So I said, give it to me. Amina took it. And she just opened the top and poured the water in a glass. And he wanted me to drink the water first. He wanted me to taste it, so in case it was poison or something.
Inconceivable.
That was you want me to drink the water? I'm drinking a coffee. I ain't drinking no water. But did I take a sip?
I think so.
I made Amina come over and take a sip. Hey, go ahead, let Amina drink it. If she drops dead, then I would poison it. I didn't poison the fucking thing. So Amina came right over, boop, drank the water, put it down. I forget exactly how it happened, but I think it happened like that. Something like that. It was crazy.
And he did invite you to his office.
Then he did invite me. At the end, he was really good. He has an office. He invited me to his office. He invited me, So I says, oh, he gave me pink underwear and autographed it because he was known for giving and making us wear pink underwear and pink T-shirts and bullshit like that. They try to belittle you, So anyway, I don't care. I gave him a shirt or something.
Yeah.
And he gave me pink underwear.
Just like the old days.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even get it, in prison. What I give a fuck. I wanted underwear. I don't care if it's pink, blue, green, purple, white, black. What do I care? I want to wear underwear. Not all the time. Right?
Don't even go on that note.
On that note.
Sammy's got to jump into his other meeting.
All right, I got another meeting going on, all the meetings going on. But listen, guys, when I get this show, you can wait up on Patreon, you could join tomorrow. And if you get in, don't get discouraged. But I'm going to change the whole thing around, and I'm going to make announcements to how I'm making it. And we're going to have all kinds of, I'm going to have the actors, the actresses, and then we'll do this type of thing on it as well. So you could talk to the actors or ask them a question. We're going to love this. I know you guys are going to love it. You guys. That sound like a gangster.
You guys, hey.
Can't I break that accent?
No, that's why we love you, man. You are who you are.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okie doke, guys. Love you. Adios.